What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to talk about one of my favorite setups. It's the bottom and top reversal. Now this is just a setup, so we're going to break down kind of how I like to play this kind of setup, what I look for, different entries, exits, so forth and so on. So let's get into it. So first things first, if you don't know what a bottom or top reversal is, let me explain it to you really quick because it's actually very simple, right? So a top reversal is when we're on the uptrend, right? And then obviously we hit this wall or level of resistance, right? And then we reverse, right? This is a top reversal, right? Because we came to a top and then we reverse back down. And then we have a bottom reversal, which is pretty much just the opposite, right? Super simple and easy to understand, right? We're here, we have a bottom, and then we reverse back up, right? Level of support right there, and then we're good to go, right? That's pretty much what that is. Super simple, super easy. Right now, the problem is with a lot of people is that, you know, when I have these kind of setups and people are kind of confused on, yo, how did you know it was going to reverse, right? How did you not? What if it kept going, right? So I have different progressions and different things I look for these kind of setups. So the first things first, right? What's the situation, right? Is it a regular day? Is there lots of news? What kind of news? What are we looking for, right? What are we looking at? Oftentimes, if we're, you know, for whatever, let's say this is a news day, right? If it's a news day, generally what I like to look for is a dramatic move up, a dramatic move down. And then what happens is, and depending on the news, like for example, let's say job reports, right? Job reports, I nail job reports almost every time. Let's say job reports came out, we made an aggressive move down. Now from experience, I know that with job reports specifically, that it usually makes that kind of, because usually the news for job reports comes out, I think, an hour before the market opens, around 8:30 EST, if I'm not mistaken. And, you know, let's say, for example, it dumps, right? The market dumps. I would usually look for a bottom reversal in that situation, news reversal, right? Just a quick reaction from the news. And then, you know, the buyers or sellers, depending on which way, you know, it went, you know, in reaction to the news, I would look for the opposite play. Now that's just with news. That's just something I've seen from experience that works a lot of times, right? For example, let's say we're here, job reports came out, boom, we had a crazy dump, right? When I'm looking for us to bottom out, right? Okay, the news usually is a huge overreaction, or you know, maybe it was valid, but oftentimes just based off experience and based off playing news and jobs reports and things like that, I've noticed that I have a high quality setup on a bottom reversal or top reversal, depending on which way it goes, in, you know, after the news plays out. Like I said, job report specifically usually happens around 8:30 a.m. EST, and then by the time 9:30 comes, we've already made the move. We're already settling down, and usually that play comes around market open. So that's just an experience factor for me, right? So what about, Isaac, there's no news at all? What do you look for then? What if we're just on a downtrend? How do you know it's going to reverse versus how do you know it's not going to keep going? So here's the thing. So let's say we have price action, right? When we make our first move down, and then let's say we start bottoming out, the first thing I'm thinking about is not a reversal, right? Just for me personally, what I usually like to look for after an initial move down, I like to look for signs of a continuation, right? Let's see how strong this move down actually is, right? And oftentimes that can come in the form of a continuation pattern, whether that's a bear flag if we're looking at the downside here, right? Bear flag or simple trend line. I don't care what the name you give it, or maybe we just have simple consolidation and we break below that support level, or we break out of that consolidation, then we can look for that continuation play, right? That's usually me. After the first move down, I'm not looking for a reversal, right? We have the second move down, then I'll start looking for signs of a reversal. And also that depends on what time frame we're looking at, right? And that's something that I think a lot of people kind of forget about, is that time frames matter, right? For example, let's say we have a move down. Let's say this is the 5 minute, right? Let's say this is a 5 minute. And let's say we have a move down. We have a move down here, right? And let's say we have another move down right there. Now you may be saying, oh, well, this is a crazy drop on the 5 minute. We need to be looking for a reversal sometime soon. But I'm like, I'm not sure, right? Because let's say we go up to the hourly, right? Let's say we go up to the hourly And then we have a level of resistance right here. And this is a key level of resistance, right? And then we start making a move down on the hourly, right? Obviously there's gonna be less candles on the hourly, just bear with me, you know what I mean though, right? Right, let's say we're at a key level of resistance on the hourly, right? And then you're on the 5 minute and you see what may look like a dramatic move, right? For me, I'm like, well, I'm not thinking about a reversal here because the hourly is showing that we're rejecting off a key level, right? But the 5 minute looks dramatic to you, so you think there has to be a reversal because we've fallen so much, right? But you have to understand that the bigger time frames hold more weight than the smaller time frames. What you want to do is, or for me personally, I get my general direction off the bigger time frames. I find my levels for execution and my entries on the smaller time frames. And again, that depends on the quality of the market as well. Is the 5 minute choppy? Is the 3 minute choppy? Like that goes into a whole different conversation. But just for the sake of understanding this, Isaac, how did you know it was going to keep going down? Well, simply because the hourly was showing very, very bearish signs. So I couldn't necessarily rely on the 5 minute only, right? I had to look at the bigger time frames, the hourly, the 30 minute, the 15 minute, right? Because what happens is a lot of people, for example, right? You ever seen one of those multi-day runs in the market? They're like it's running for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 days in a row, right? Let me show you what that looks like a lot of times. Let's say we have the daily chart here. And let's say we have the 5 minute chart here, right? This is going to put things in perspective for you, right? Let's say the daily chart, right? And bear with me. I'm going to make this as clean as possible. Let's say the daily chart hits a level of resistance or support, excuse me, right? And then we start bouncing off that support. Right now, assume this was a 5 minute chart. You would probably say that it's only 2 candles to the upside. Like there's this probably can go way higher because it's barely gone up already. Just 2 candles to the upside. That's it. We had a bottom, right? Hit the 2 candle support or bottom tweeze or whatever you want to call it, and then we had 2 bullish candles to the upside. You're gonna say, oh, we probably have more upside because it hasn't run that much. But this is the daily chart. So if this is a daily chart, that means a 5 minute chart probably looks something like this. It probably had something like, some consolidation, and then we just had, this is what it looks like right here. Right? So now you're, and if you're only looking at the 5 minute, you're like, oh my gosh, there's no way this thing can keep going. There's no way. Like, why would it keep going? It's impossible. Look how much we've run up. There's no way I'm buying here. Right? But me, I see that we had a key level on the daily chart. Right? We obviously have flipped bullish, right? We're not making higher lows, right? Looks like the trend, we have a trend reversal. So I like bullish here, right? I like the bulls. I'm on the bulls side right now, right? Because the daily chart looks really bullish. You have to understand that the bigger time frames are always going to look better than the smaller time frames, or if that's not the case for you, the bigger time frames hold more weight than the smaller time frames. There's been times where I've gotten into play on the hourly chart, looked on the 5 minute chart, saw some things that would have made me want to get out to play, but because the bigger time frames, whether it be the hourly, 30 minute, 15 minute, told me that we still had more strength going the direction I wanted to go, I held that trade and it became really profitable, right? So you have to be able, if you're going to want to play these bottom reversals, you're going to have to, one, don't marry a time frame, 2, utilize multiple time frames, 3, understand that bigger time frames hold more weight than the smaller time frames. So you need to make sure that you have that perspective in check, right? Don't just rely on the 5 minute. The 5 minute is going to look more dramatic. The 3 minute is going to look way more dramatic than that. The 1 minute is going to look super dramatic, right? But the 15, 30 minute hourly can provide the simplicity for you and the clearness for you, because again, bigger time frames have less candles, right? Because all those 5 minute candles that fit into the hourly candles, right? Obviously, there's going to be like one hourly candle for a bunch of 5 minute candles, right? So keep that in perspective. So for me, let's actually do this. Let's do this. Let's actually take it to the charts really quick, so I can show you guys some more live examples of what I mean. I just want to kind of get that through really quick. A little more respect. Okay, cool. Check this out, guys. So looks like we had a move down here, right? We had a pretty aggressive move down, right? Nice little trend, right? See the resistance right here. Ended up being just a continuation, right? But this is pre-market, so whatever, we're not worried about it, right? Had a crazy move down pre-market, right? We zoom in, looks like we had a bottom reversal. Now, look, this is where we bottomed out, right? And it looks kind of choppy, right? It doesn't look that good, right? It's a little bit, right? I'd have a level here, I may put one, I mean, it looks, the levels aren't very clear. Obviously, this 15,116 is very clear, right? Because this is level support, double bottom action right here. But let's go on the 15-minute chart. All right, now we look like we have a more clear level support or resistance right there. Right, let's take it to the 30-minute just to get that perspective. And usually you have multiple screens up, so usually don't, I'm not switching through like this. Right, based off of this, we have a 5-minute level here, but I'm gonna actually take that away. Now check this out, guys. Check this out. So right here we had a move down pre-market, right? Pretty aggressive move down, right? We go on the 30-minute. Okay, cool. We have, clear bottom right here. We broke above. This would have been my resistance level here, that 15,165. Right, for me, based off of the 15-minute, this is where I would have wanted my entry to be. Right, Isaac, how do you know it's going to be at a bottom reversal? Well, a couple things right here. Number one, we had a very dramatic move down. Right, very dramatic move down. This is most likely because of news. A move like this pre-market is most likely because of news, right? So assuming that it's because of news, again, like I said at the beginning of the video, I'm gonna look for, obviously depending on what kind of news it is, let's assume it was jobs reports, right? I'm letting the reaction happen and I'll be on the follow-up, right? And oftentimes a follow-up is just the opposite direction of wherever it went the first time, right? In this case, we had a bottom reversal, right? Number two, we did take from the 5-minute that we did have a double bottom, which is something that just shows that there's solid support there. Right? I don't want you overthinking it, but it's a bottom reversal pattern, right? It's showing that we have a key level support, right, for this intraday time frame, right? And then I go on and I couldn't really pinpoint where I want my entry to be on the reversal, because for me, I wouldn't have entered down here, right? Based off the 5-minute was kind of all over the place, so I would have wanted more clear. I would have wanted to be a little more safe, right? Especially because you never really know with news, right? Things can happen, right? It's the market. But in this case, and where I usually enter, because I prefer a little bit more safety on these, I enter above my level of resistance. So instead of entering here down at the support, I want to make sure that we are going to reverse. So I find that level of resistance above that bottom, and then I get my entry. So for here, my entry wouldn't have been on the 5-minute. Like I said, when I trade, I have the 5-minute, 15-minute, 30-minute, hourly up for the ticker I'm looking for. So I would have looked on the 15-minute here. I probably would have got an early entry above the 90 EMA, see if we could hold that support, scale in on this candle, and then ride it up to just reading the price action and riding it up to our next level, right, wherever that is. Obviously, me personally, I probably would have had a level right here. Right, probably would have saw we were slowing up anyways, and based on the different time frames, I don't really have them all up right now. But for me personally, this would have been my entry. Right, as we broke above this resistance level, right? And you can see here, I chose this level, right? Because here we bounced here again, played with a little bit, rejected, right? Rejected again. So clearly this was a support to resistance kind of situation. And then we broke back above, giving me the confidence to enter. And then we take it up to our price target, call it a day. Right? So that's just one example. Let's see if I can find another example here. Right? So we had a move down on the hourly, right? First thing I see consolidation on the hourly, right? I see consolidation on the hourly. Assume that everything to the right of this hasn't happened yet, right? Because obviously that's realistic, right? We're gonna assume everything but after this has not happened yet. So all of this, it hasn't happened. right? So we have consolidation on the hourly chart, right? For me, I want to go down to the lower time frames now. Let's go to the 30 really quick, see what that looks like. Okay, cool. It looks like we almost have a trend forming here, just in case we may see that on the lower time frames, right? I have a level here. We have support, resistance, right? I want to keep tabs on that. Let's go down to the 15-minute here. Yep, so that's definitely a trend, right? I want to put something here as well. I think that's going to be a level on the hourly or on the 5-minute. Sorry, let's go on the 5-minute really quick. Boom. So yep, that's exactly what we have as well. So check this out. So we went from consolidation on the hourly. So that's given. So we had a move down on the hourly. We had consolidation on the hourly. So I'm thinking like, okay, if we could hold this level, we could get a nice move up. Because I'm not going to assume we're going to reverse, because we could easily fall under. So like I said, just like the last example, I'm going to have a level of resistance there. So if we break above that resistance level, I can have a tight stop loss, and I can say that, okay, if we hold this support that used to be resistance, then I feel more confident to move up. So check this out on the 5-minute, right? Looks like we definitely have this resistance level. We have a first level or first price target here, right? Obviously we have another level here, but because I saw this nice consolidation on the hourly time frame, I'm actually going to make sure I monitor this on a bigger time frame, right? And I actually took this play, which is why I'm using it as an example, right? And I took this play off the 15-minute, right? And Discord Blueprint Trading Group probably caught this as well. I did call this on live. Right, so check this out now. So we've already confirmed that we have trend line support. And honestly, if I would have seen this, I might have entered right here, because not only are we bouncing off the trend line, we're bouncing off a support level on the hourly time frame, right? But I didn't, because I wanted to play it safe, like I said, right? And what I had support, resistance, cool. We break above this 15,289. I would love an entry right here. That's what we did. As long as we hold, we're good. My stop loss is going to be below this level. We had a massive move, massive candle up, right? And we can see this on the 30-minute. The bigger the time frame, right? The more good this play looks, right? Less candles, more clear general direction, right? Move down, right? Clear levels, right? As long as you have clear levels, you can always find a play, right? Broke above that level, right? Nice reversal, crazy move up, right? You can say the same for the hourly as well. I mean, look at that. Made a move down, consolidated, held it, ended up making a nice move up above our resistance level. Entry, took it all the way up. Massive move, great trade. And I will say, for full transparency, I play more bottom reversals than I do top reversals, right? That's just me. That's just how I do it. Nothing wrong with either one. That's just what I gravitate towards more, right? And let's do one more example, right, of a play that we did take. Oh, and I wanted to say this because I know you guys might have been seeing this earlier. Isaac, how did you know that was going, like, did you not play the other one, right? So check this out. Let me actually go back really quick. I know some of you might have had this question. So check this out. So we played this bottom reversal, right, and made a move up. But Isaac, why didn't you do the same when it came back here? Great question. That's actually a valid question, right? So number one, we have a trend line, right? So Isaac, why didn't you play this? This is the same exact play. We had a crazy move down and then we didn't reverse. Well, remember when I said that I like to take plays that when they break that resistance level, not when they come down to that support level? This is why. This is why, right here, because it could easily just be a continuation, right? The market can do anything. I'm trying to make sure I protect myself at all times, right? So I'm not taking buys right here, but if we break above this resistance level, that 15,301, then I'm taking buys and I'm having my stop loss under that 301 level, right? If we continue and break down, right, then we can look at shorts. But we had to move down. I'm not just buying because we're at support, right? I want to make sure I'm playing it safe, right? I'm mitigating my risk, and I'm not going to enter until we break that 15,301. So if you're wondering, Isaac, how can you say you're going to take that one but not this one? That's why I always have my resistance level, and I want to break above that resistance level before I get into those buys, right? I'm not going to just buy and then get slaughtered on the downtrend if it happened to be a continuation. So that's to answer that question, that's what I would have done. Right? Here's another example. Right? We've been on the downtrend here. Right? You can see here we've been on the downtrend. Right? We make it move all the way down. Right? We end up finding support right here on the hourly. Right? My day usually starts on the hourly chart. That's where I usually start my charting. Right? This is beautiful to me. Isaac, are you going to get in buys down here? No, I'll get in buys when we break this. Support, resistance, I'll get in buys here. Right? That's my level. I'm not taking this off the hourly, off rip. I'm looking at my other time frames as well at all times. Like I said, I'm kind of flipping through the charts. I usually have them up already on my monitors, but for the sake of the video, I can't share multiple screens at once. Check this out. Right? Because who says this couldn't just continue down, right? I'm only going to enter when we break, right? So on all time frames, this would have been my entry right here, right? That would have been my entry, bottom reversal, right? And if you haven't noticed yet, I love that consolidation. I want us to consolidate. I'm not taking a trade with one candle bounce, one wick bounce off support. I'm not taking that. I just can't do that. But when we consolidate on those, especially those bigger time frames, and we're consolidating on like the hourly chart, the 30-minute chart, that I love that because I know we're just setting up for a major move. Consolidation on the 5-minute, we're setting up for a 5-minute kind of move. Consolidation on the hourly, we're setting up for a major move, right? If you can catch that, if you're aware, if you can catch that reversal, that's going to be a really, really, really good play for you, right? The bigger the time frame, the bigger the time frame you see the setup, the bigger the move is going to be. So if you find the consolidation we just saw on the hourly chart, on the 5-minute chart, it's not going to be as big as a move as the hourly. It's just not. But if you find an hourly setup, that one right there is going to run, right? So just keep that in perspective. And like I said, it's the same thing everywhere. It's the same chart or same entry everywhere, right? I saw that hourly level. I want to make sure we break above that because I want to make sure that I am protecting myself, right? Again, I'm not going to enter down here because if we just happen to continue, it's a continuation, the risk reward, it's just not, I don't like that, right? But if we break above here, right? We break above here, cool. Sign of a reversal, enter as soon as we break, right? Because futures is easy to enter and exit, right? Stop loss below, probably like the 5-minute EMA, 5-minute, 9-minute EMA or below the level, right? Obviously reading the price action, and then we're just taking it up to the next level. You can see here, support, resistance, and then that would have been my price target right there. Simple as that, guys. And if you want to get good at this, all you have to do is keep looking for these, right? Keep trying to find setups like these. Again, I do play top reversals, but I usually play bottom reversals. That just, you find something you like in the market, you stick with it. No need to change it up. But that's all I got for this video, guys. If you enjoyed this video, do me a favor, like, subscribe. If you have any more questions, please feel free to comment down below. If you're interested in learning or trading with me live, join my Discord for free. We go live every single day, right? And if you're interested in something a little more hand-holding type, I do have my Blueprint Inner Circle mentorship where myself and my coaches are trying to turn you into profitable, confident, and independent traders. And if you're interested in that, book a call with my team below and we'll get you started. So that's all I got for this video, guys, and I will see you guys later.